Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to our 500 call. We've got the amazing Executive President's Team member, Jared Cator, on the line. So, this is particularly an exciting call for us because I believe this is the first time we've had a one Diamond President's Team member share this year. So, it's really cool, and probably even cooler is that Jared's actually the newest President's Team here in Australia, and just absolutely smashing his business, worldwide, but also here in Australia. So, guys, Charles and I had the absolute pleasure to hear from him and spend some time with him at the last TAB team experience in Adelaide only a month or so ago, and we were just blown away. And as a result of Jared's training, we made some serious business decisions to propel our business forward. So I am sure that you are all going to get some serious value, whether you're listening in live right now or listening to the recording. Just a massive congratulations to you all. And I'm not going to take up any more time of Jared. So Jared, please take it away.
Thank you. Thanks for the intro, Caro. And it's always good because when you start to train guys, especially a lot of you guys will experience this, you never kind of you never really know how you go. You just got how you think you've gone. So it's always good to get some positive feedback, especially from those. That was a 2-hour session, so it was a long one. So literally, if I'm talking about Herbalife for 2 hours, it's everything I've got because I don't think there's that much to it, to be honest. But guys, firstly, thanks for the invite to be on the call. It's a real honour to share with you guys, and I definitely don't take it lightly. The ability to maybe say a sentence or a few words that might change your mindset in a positive direction. So that's definitely not taken lightly from my perspective. So thank you so much for the invitation, and once again, congratulations to qualifiers on this call. 500 Club, you can really the foundation of our business is built on our similar webinar system. So, and that's how we're driving our growth. So once again, congratulations. And I guess what I've always looked at is, it's great for us to be on here because, once you do it once, you know what you're missing, right? So you never miss it. But it's always amazing to have team member on here. And once you start to get a law of averages happening, you'll understand how many team members you need on these leadership calls to be able to advance through the marketing plan at a relatively good pace for you, whatever that is. So, so once you get that understanding, it's even more exciting, right? So, but guys, I'll start with my story. So before Herbalife, I was running a business in financial services. I was time poor. And I was really bank account poor. I was putting a lot of time and effort into that business because it was going down the gurgler pretty quickly, and I left it too late to look for a job type of thing. So I was looking for a way to make some money and I guess diversify my income streams. And I eventually said yes to my sponsor Rowan's invitation down to a Gold Coast kickoff. It was so. Obviously, Rob and Christie were there, and the late Gary de Brabner, the late and great Gary de Brabner was there. And, I was actually sitting next to Gary in my first meeting. And, but man, the stories blew me away. And instantly my first reaction was, why can't I do this? What's special about these guys? I couldn't put my finger on it because there was so many different people from so many different walks of life doing the business, right? And making all different areas of income. And I thought, well, I related with a couple of them, and a couple of them I said, surely not. And they were doing very, very well. And, I was in shock. I was probably sitting there with my jaw on the ground type of thing. And I thought, well, why can't I do this? So a question, and it relates back to what Jim Rohn says, based on the testimonials that I've heard, and this is something to write down if you're taking notes, based on the testimonials that I've heard, and my previous life experiences, it is possible for me because it is, because people just like you have done extraordinary things. And this is just in everything abroad, not just Herbalife. But then when you look around the Herbalife stories, I can guarantee you there's someone in a worse spot than you right now. They've gone all the way to president's team. We're talking about third world countries and people go on the president's team. People that, Kim Broman tells a story about one of his president's team who sold his last pair of jeans, to get to an SDS, and now he makes $100,000 US a month. He lives in Indonesia. that's royalty type of stuff. So so there's always someone in a worse spot than you. But the beauty of, and what I loved about Herbalife, is you can start exactly where you are, like exactly where you are with the money that's in your bank account, and all you really need is effort. Yeah, and all you really need is ambition, really, and to what the desire to be better. If you got that, and you invest that in Herbalife, which I did, that was 5 years ago now. My 5 year anniversary pin come the other day, so I've been in Herbalife. I registered in July 2012. So, and now we've gone on to build an amazing international business. My wife's never had to work a job since we've had kids. Like it's just been a crazy whirlwind, and I'm not even really allowed to say my that I make a little bit under 40 grand a month in royalties and bonuses anymore. So I won't say that, but gold standard and everything. But it's quite crazy, and that just seems to be growing and growing and growing and growing and growing. And if you had told me this was going to be happening at the start, I guess talking about belief, I would have thought, well, okay, like it sounds a little bit too good to be true. But you say that's a 5 year period, but when you're doing it, it seems like a long time, right? But yeah, when you put in the overall perspective of your life, a brick, like a tradie would do apprenticeship for 4 years and come out on 50 grand a year or something. So I'm telling you guys, if you invest in your Herbalife apprenticeship and just do what you can when you can, you're going to get rewarded for your effort. And what I always loved about Herbalife, because of the royalty-based income, is you'll get rewarded forever for the work you do now. If you're doing things ethically, and there's a few disclaimers to that, but you will get rewarded forever, which is crazy. So what I want to talk to you guys about, because there's different ways to have belief, and for me it's the absolute key to success in a Herbalife business, because we've all got our tactics. We've all got the system. You guys have your system wherever you are. I'm assuming this is an Australia-wide call. And you guys will have a STS, and you guys will have obviously you've got webinars. Like some of this stuff when we got started, like Cara and myself, we didn't have this stuff. This wasn't available. We just drove. To be honest, we just jumped in the car. It was only live stuff. There was no online. So to have this stuff to be able to propel your business, it's absolutely crazy. So getting on these calls, and the way I'm going to give you guys, I guess, some tips on how to grow your business and what we've done in Albury. I'll give you a summary before we start. Not just Albury. We've got Albury Lifestyle Centre, Wangaratta Lifestyle Centre, Ballarat Lifestyle Centre. We've got 4 opening regionally here as well before Christmas, and that's really just been 12 months work. So it's been crazy, and what we did was like as a backstory, we were in this area for a long 12 months and not really getting much traction. So I don't know if you guys can relate to this or not. And then we said, then I said, okay, obviously things must be too complicated because people can't do the deal, right? And I never thought Herbalife was too hard, so maybe that was a reflection of how I was describing it. So we really burnt it back to what Herbalife actually is. So I'm sure you guys have seen the Herbalife funnel before. It goes tactic, whatever that is for you. You've got like shake parties, fit club, health scans. You pick skin parties. All the stuff that really exposes people. A tactic for me is something that exposes people to product testimonials or the products, and a business opportunity. And then the next step, that they'll flow into your open house, and then they'll flow into like calls like this and your STS, which will flow into your Adelaide, which is going to change your life. So get your ticket, and then it's going to flow into like an international event, right? That's a Herbalife funnel, and that's pretty set in Herbalife around the world now. That's just the way Herbalife kind of falls. So when you actually look at it, you say, well, what can I control? And really all you can control is the invites that go on the top. So when you boil this back, if you guys truly, truly, truly believe sorry, I'm trying to talk and stuff, that you guys could go president's team in 3 to 5 years, would you or would you not invite 10 people a day into the top of that funnel and just let it sort itself out? Because at the end of the day, your business builders will rise to the top. That's just the way it is. It's always been the same way. So, like when you actually look at it and go, okay, I've made the choice to change pins in the next 90 days, because always the last half of the year from a Herbalife perspective, it's pin change season. The last 6 months leading into Adelaide. So if you're ever thinking about getting a wriggle on, now's the time, because and this is what I'm telling my guys, we've got the Success Summits coming up, and then that's going to springboard into Adelaide, right? And Adelaide is the big dance. You will get your 2018 will be set up on Adelaide, and that's just the bottom line. That's just how the cookie's going to crumble, and it always has in Herbalife. So the numbers you can put in Adelaide, if you put 8 to 12 in there, these are Gary DeBrabner's numbers, who are Chairman's Club. You'll be global expansion team in 90 days as a result. 8 to 12 serious people. That's just the way it goes. I know where everyone's next step is, but whatever the numbers are that you need, you can boil that back. If you put that number in there, then you will get the result. It's just results in the system. It's like a law of averages thing, and I'm really big on making the system king, because I've always wanted to build a business that's independent to me. So if I'm relying on myself and I'm the man and I'm the go-to and the resource for everything, then everyone's going to come to me for everything, right? And you just don't have time. Trust me, when you build a president's team business, and you got supervisors, and world team, and then all these new members coming through as well, and then you're trying to build some new stuff yourself, and all the people, your inbox is just going ding 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 ding. If you're making yourself the issue, it's crazy. But if you're making the system the issue and referring everything back to the system, it's really manageable, because the system's the king and you're just the one that plugs people in, is the way I look. So when you've got your tactics and stuff set up, have those duplicatable systems that are flowing people through. And this is how we've got, I use Fit Club's lifestyle center type of thing. So it's got Fit Clubs, and we do house scans in there as well. And this is how we've got our workouts at up to 50 people within 3 months, really just doing this, just focusing on the invite, because we had all the systems set. I've sorted out the systems. They're done. They're ready to go. And what are they? They're so simple. We do like the workouts. We do like an open house a couple of nights a week. We've got a webinar as well, and then a leadership webinar. Like, it's not advanced stuff. And then we put people in the SDS. Like, it's Herbalife 101 type of stuff. So there's no secrets around the system and how that works. But I got the guys focusing on all they could control, which was putting people in the top, the invites. And what they're finding is, because we've got everyone tracking their details, what they know is if they put 10 people in the top of it, for them, whoever it is, they might get 4 to 5 clients, and then they might get a couple of members and a supervisor, for example, depending on how it seems to vary from person to person. But if you understand your numbers, then you can tweak that. So, and you can tweak how many people that you're putting in the top, more importantly. So you can go like 10 in the top over a month, or you could do that over a week, or you could do that every day. And of course, what's going to yield you better results? Daily, right? But sometimes that's unmanageable for some of us because we're part-time or whatever. But we can definitely all put 10 people in our system a week based on our efforts. And then if we do that, you imagine the royalty growth. You're not going to have to be part-time Herbalife members for too long. We're always kind of talking a big game in our system, and that's why our stuff's like going really quick at the moment, especially in Australia. So when you actually look at it logically from a belief standpoint, and the only thing you can control on the invites, you actually think about it, go, hey, I can do this. We just have to find ways to get the phone to ring, and then some ways to approach some people and get some people walking through the door. And when they say Herbalife is it's simple, but it's not easy. That's why, because some people would make the effort and some people won't. And you've just got to decide which side of the fence of that you reside on, I guess, the people that make the effort. Because, Mark Hughes always said from the start in Herbalife, those who do the work get the pay. So it's not like this isn't like a one of those things where you just make, you just fall into money. It just doesn't happen that way. You've got to do some work. And then when we're plugging people into our system, you'll see the results, and it's going to encourage you to keep going. So belief's a big thing. And what I would do is look at people who are doing what you want to do a little bit better than you, and just asking them some questions, because Herbalife's such a big open community. Everyone will be opening to answer, and they might tell you some ways that they're doing it that you really like, so you can do them as well. And then just build your plan. In regards to our guys, we have everyone we do 90-day plans, but the book, the 90-day plan book is like I can't get my head around it, to be honest. I'm not that smart, but maybe you guys can, but I can't. So once again, I simplified that whole process as well. So for our 90-day plans, we literally got 4 circles, and that's what makes it the phone ring / people walking through the door. It could be things like posters, flyers, letterboxes, you name it, whatever, online ads, Facebook, Instagram, whatever it is. And that's going to flow into 2 other things, which are the things you're promoting. So you're not really confused on your promotion. You know exactly what you're doing for what. And then you've just got your goals down the bottom. You stick it on the fridge and know that that's your Herbalife work that's going to get you moving towards your goals every single day. And it's such a strong affirmation when people look at that when they wake up to have their shake, right? Because they're getting their berries or putting in front of your F1 or on top of your F1 or whatever, and you know exactly what you got to do for the day. And then I guess on top of that, when you're doing your important, I'm guessing you guys do some type of list. I always do important and imperative lists. Imperatives like 6 to 7 things that you can do every single day to move you towards your goals. This is like the goals focused stuff, and it's the stuff you do straight away. The reason why you don't put too much on there is because you got to really get this stuff done. This is like the stuff that you can't go to bed until it's all done. You don't leave anything unturned. So this is the stuff that's directly related, I guess, when you're looking at your plan, when you're writing out your imperatives, that this is the stuff that's directly related to your goals. This is how you condense time, guys. Like you can do Herbalife different ways, but at the moment in Herbalife Australia, things are like now's takeoff time for me, and that's how I'm talking to my guys as well. So I'll talk to you guys in exactly the same way. The momentum is coming, and you want to be in front of that, because when you're in front of it, you'll grow twice as quick. But if you get stuck behind it, you're always chasing it. So now's the time to get moving. So when we're doing our imperatives, we're writing them out, and then we're crossing them off. And this is the stuff we're doing. This is the stuff, once again, that's directly linked to our goals. That's it. So it's cross, get that all done for the day. And then we move on to stuff like wash the car, go to the dentist. I don't know, whatever. Sometimes your important stuff merges over your imperatives. Like, for example, if you leave the car, it needs a service for too long, that might be blowing up. So you got to get that done, right? But if you don't, if you don't prioritize the things that are really important to you, your day will own you, and you don't want that. You want to own the day, And if you start owning the day, then you start owning months, and then you start owning years, and you own a decade in Herbalife. Like from my perspective and what I've seen in the past for the people that do this, is you're not going to have too many financial worries. So then you can let the days own you a bit when you're laying in the Bahamas having a cocktail, relaxing, right? The other thing I guess for me, and the belief side of things. So it's one of those things, and as a disclaimer up front, guys, don't expect to have rock solid belief all the time, because it just doesn't happen. You'll have your moments where you're like, I don't know if this thing's working, and I did. I was like, oh, I don't know what's going on. Like, I was really self-doubt, like, especially if you're new, because you've probably never done any personal development leading into this. So your self-confidence and what you're looking at yourself in the mirror going, I don't know if I can do this, another meeting, what's going on, they're boring, or whatever the excuses are, right? don't don't let a bad thought, ruin your day, because you can snap yourself out of that. You've got to just identify that you're doing it up front. You go, no, no, no. Actually, back to the plan. Let's get back to okay. What are we doing? Let's get back to the imperatives. Let's put on some good tunes. Let's put some Jim Rohn in our ear. Let's change our mindset, because at the end of the day, you know how they say, in regards to your attitude, or in regards to, I guess, your mindset, whether you think you are or you think sorry, if you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Well, when you kind of boil that back, that comes down to a choice that you're making mentally. So it's the same thing when you're thinking about, you're like, oh, I don't know if I can do this, da 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 da. You just got to say to yourself, no, I can actually do this. I can do this because I know, Jared was broke. I was literally putting 3 hours a week into my Herbalife business when I started. So, I was time poor, and just start grabbing those stories that really appeal to you, yeah, that you resonate with, and that will pull you through those times. So maybe have them written down somewhere, or chuck some Jim Rohn in your ears and just snap out of it, and then get back to work. Because I know if you can, even if you want to be miserable or negative or whatever, it's so much better to do it when you're making some decent royalty income than when you're not, because at least you can have a good time and be negative, I guess. Don't have to worry about the money, right? Then be broke and negative. There's nothing worse than that. So, and guys, I guess from our perspective as well, I'm a little bit, like, just as a disclaimer as well, I've got this virus energy zapping thing going on that's been going around down here, and I'm a little bit up and down, so I apologise up front. But the other thing that's really gonna change your business when we boil this back is Adelaide Spectacular, and this is like the launch pad. Do you guys have the Success Summit up there, Caro? Like up where you guys are? Yeah, cool. Excellent. So this is what I'm telling my guys, and this is what I 100% believe. I'm not one to promote something I don't believe in. So um, when we look at the Success Summit, which is coming up, does everyone on this call, I want to get can you give like a, cool. So there's guys in the UK here as well. I think your yearly event is called uh, the Kick On, something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but or whatever your UK annual event is, it's the same thing. We've got a lead-in period, and if you leave this too late, then it's really harder for people to get their tickets. I know you get the last-minute stories sometimes and stuff like that, but I'd prefer someone have their ticket now than on February 1st when we fly out in a week or two. So especially when they're a brand new member. Like it's a lot harder situation than them getting ready now. So the way I'm framing it up to my guys is, when you relate it back to your plan and your work, now's the time to really knuckle in, because we do 90 days of work, consolidate that now for the UK guys into your BBS, I think you call it. Australian guys, the SDS. Plug them into that, the Success Summit, which is in place of the SDS in November. Get them into that, because I think you guys have George coming up there. Oh no, it's Mark Paulson up to North, I think. And whoever the speaker there is, their president's team guys, so it doesn't really matter. They're going to be elite. So plug them into that. Qualify for the evening. Oh, you got Kendall going up there. Oh my God. You guys are so lucky. He's incredible. I'd never actually met the guy. Never, and I sat next to him at the World Team School, and he is next level, guys. He's like a Herbalife encyclopedia. He was telling me stuff that I didn't even know existed. So it was crazy. You guys are so lucky. So make sure, especially you guys in North Queensland, but it doesn't matter where you are, guys. You're going to have an evening with the president's team, so make sure you qualify for that. That's going to be sensational. I was on the Vic S&P call, which I know each state does a little bit differently, but it's just going to be a really intimate one-on-one place to mingle with not only the qualifiers, which will be all your tab team, of course, as well, but our president's team, and just to pick their brain and talk to them about what it was like. And I still remember at a similar event at the World Team Leadership School with Hamang Podet. I remember Cara being there, and because she was on stage, and I remember the party or the welcome evening. Sorry, Gary and Paul McKessie were sitting there, and Paul said to him, "This is going to be a president's team member," and I was like, like, "Oh yeah, type of thing." And Gary kind of grabbed me on the shoulders and looked me in the eyes and said, "I believe you can do it." And I was like, "Oh my God," and then I had this massive injection of belief. I just felt like I could get it done, and it was amazing for me. So imagine having that experience for yourself. It was literally a single sentence that totally changed my mindset. So. These experiences, if you're not there, then there's no chance you're going to receive them, right? So make sure you're qualifying for that evening, and make sure that you've taken some numbers as well, because when you look at the promotions that Herbalife put out, even the vacay, there's different ways to look at it. You can say, "Oh, I don't know if I can qualify for that," or "Yeah, I'll qualify for that for sure." But how many team members are you going to take? More importantly, because that's what's going to grow your royalties. Just taking yourself, some people in Australia can retail 70,000 volume over that period of time, and they're still there, and they're at the same vacays, every year, and I don't see their royalties growing. So, that's why I got involved in the business, for the freedom that presents, right? So, but if that's not you, that's cool as well. But get there anyway, because you get lots of personal development. And then not to mention the training. So Kendall's going to pour it on for you guys, I'm sure. It's going to be next level, and there'll be a marquee event for you guys. But once again, this is going to be like a multiplier event for our guys. I know if our guys get, 4, 6, 8 people, because we've got relatively new business here, into the November event, the Success Summit, that's going to multiply leading into Adelaide. So what I mean by that, I know if they take 4, they're going to get, each of those people are going to at least +1 into Adelaide, because they're going to come out of the event so fired up. It's the same thing leading into, I guess, all your major events if you're internationally as well. That those events before it are so crucial, because you get your people in there and they get so fired up, they're pumped up. They're ready to go. Even new members, they're like, "Yep, I'm going." You don't have to say it on something. It's the guy off the stage who they're respecting, A, because they're on the stage, and B, because they probably just told their story. And they're saying, "This event changed my life," because nearly everyone in Herbalife has that story. So the success leads clues to that, guys. And but once again, I'm telling my guys, the amount numbers that you get into the November event for the Aussie, I think you get 4, get up expansion team roughly, on low numbers. But if you get 5 or 6, then you're looking at 10 to 12, then all of a sudden your numbers are super, super solid for a global expansion team check, and that's 5 to 15 grand a month. And if there's anyone on this call that wouldn't be impacted positively by an extra 5 to 15 grand a month, you're in a really good spot. Even myself, I love that extra 5 to 15 grand a month. It's not about who you can give back to. So I know you guys can do that. I know everyone on this call can take 4 people to the November event. And I know all you guys, even the next, I know all you guys on this call can take an extra 4 people to your next SDS and start building some serious momentum. But where does that all start? It starts at the invites. Yeah, it starts at the invites, back at what we spoke about at the start, leading to the top of the funnel. That's where the game begins, and that's the only thing you can control. So what I would suggest is you put that plan together. Cara, who's got a wealth of experience, or whoever your mentor and sponsor is, put those plans together and let's get to work. Because everyone can do this business. It's just those who get out there and do a little bit of grind work for a couple of years get the massive rewards on the other sides. And when I'm talking about grind work, it's not like we're going out there and laying bricks or chopping down trees or doing heavy labor. We're just talking to people, and that's it.
So and you can actually choose how you do that. It's free enterprise, which is crazy, right? There's so many different ways these days. You got Facebook for starters, Instagram. Signed up a guy from Hungary on Instagram the other day. I don't even know how it happened. Still scratching my head. But anyway, it happened, So we got WhatsApp. Like, there's so many different ways to communicate these days, guys, that they didn't have 20 years ago. They would have been writing letters, sending carrier pigeons or something. I don't know what Mike was doing when he first started, but there's so many. We're at such an advantage here to really ignite our business. So what handwritten letters, with the nice the nice writing and the point pens. But so we're really excited as an Australian Presidents team to be bringing the Success Summit thing. But I'm telling you guys, Adelaide's going to be next level. And I haven't even mentioned Enrique yet, and I'm sure Caro's really putting the promos about this guy out there. He is next level. How many 30-odd-year-olds, I don't even know how old he is, but I don't think he's much older than myself, have a business that turn over $2.5 million in product a month. That's next level. That's when you talk about belief, I guess once you meet him, you go, this guy's just a normal guy that's worked on himself like everyone. But wow, I can't wait to be hearing off the stage, taking notes. It's going to be like, people pay thousands of thousands to go see Tony Robbins, Eric Thomas, all the events. They go to sort of self-improvement. This is what, $140 for an early bird. It's a nothing price to pay, guys. So make sure that we're getting there for that as well. And with your teams, of course, plus, everyone plus one. And I'm telling you guys, it's going to be a whole new 2019 for you guys. It's going to be next level. So am I going for time, Karen? Or might be over. Might be a little bit over.
Oh, I don't think it actually matters right now, Jared. I think
nice one, Jared.
The four of us here are just like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So what we might do, guys, with leading into the Success Summit in just a couple of months, I've got the numbers here because there's a few people logged in from all over the country, and I don't think it's been announced yet on the email. So guys, really pay attention with the Success Summit. You've got in New South Wales, you've got Chairman's Club member, it did come out, Jennifer de Brabender, oh my gosh. Western Australia, we've got President Mark Paulson. South Australia, we've got Rob Walsh. Victoria, we've got Christy Walsh. Brisbane, we've got George Knight. Cairns, we've got Kendall Robinson. And Tasmania, guys, we've got Jared Cator. So if you know anybody in Tasmania, make sure you get them along, because, we just got half an hour, 35 minutes of absolute gold. So I don't know, we've probably got a couple more minutes. If anybody's got any questions they want to ask Jared, I'm putting him on the spot here. I didn't set him up for
No, that's cool.
at the end. But if anybody's got any questions, put your hands up and let's absolutely hear from you right now, because I'm blown away. Actually, I'm not blown away. I'm just more empowered from tonight's call. So let me just give everybody a couple of seconds.
Hey guys. Hey guys.
Takeaway is what it is.
Okay, good.
I'm sitting right next to Cara, that's why. But hey, Jared, I just wanted to know, for any brand new people out here on the call right now, I suppose you would have had some moments that were really hard, and I know you spoke about belief, but what's probably the one piece of advice, if they have a really crap day tomorrow, what's the one thing that they should do?
The one thing they should do. So identify. Actually, tonight, go to bed with the mindset that, everything in life is either a lesson or a win, and then you can't have a crap day, right? You reckon?
Absolutely.
Having a crap day, you're like, well, what can I learn from this? You know, like, and then it's a positive anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. Like totally amazing advice. All right, guys. Well, doesn't seem like anybody's got any more questions, but thank you so much again, Jared, for an incredible training tonight and session with you. I think this was more than a 500 call. This was personal development. This was training. This was mentoring. This is everything, you know, we know and love about you as our brand new president's team here in Australia. So again, thank you so much. And guys, let's pump the team page with all of the post promotion. Okay, you guys are all absolutely epic with that. And if you guys are friends with Jared, please send him, you know, a thank you post on his wall. You know, I know that as a result of this call, there's going to be a lot of people buying their tickets because they're ready for 2018 to be, you know, theirs, to own, you know, what's coming up this next year. Thanks, guys. Good night.
Thanks, guys.